Yo, what's up everybody? Icy here and welcome to another NBA video. This one is my video for the 7-game slate on October 11th. I will be going through each game one by one, so feel free to fast forward. This will be a pretty long video. But before I do that, just wanted to go over my lineup for yesterday. My winning streak is officially over. I did horrible yesterday. I took out Steph Curry and Cameron Johnson last second for Montrezl Harrell and Lou Williams because of that Kelly Oubre, Mikal Bridges playing last second. So kind of got nervous there and I took him out. And I didn't expect Steph Curry to drop 63, man. Like, that's just ridiculous in a preseason game. That sucked. And Jamal Murray, Townsend do too well. And Terrence Mann played 27 minutes, but he played mostly with the first team. So that wasn't all that good. But you live and you learn, and today's another day. So hopefully we can take something down tonight. So the first game of the slate is between the Cavaliers and the Pistons. The Cavaliers have yet to play a preseason game so far against an NBA opponent. They were overseas. Someone on the Cavalier I'm really high on is C.D. Osman. He should have a breakout year this year, in my opinion. He's someone that's very energetic, and he does a little bit of everything, and he should be the focal point of the Cavaliers' offense this year. In the overseas preseason game, he played 22 minutes, 12 points, 3 rebounds, 5 assists, 5 steals, 1 block. So he did a little bit of everything. And yeah, I'm just really high on this guy for this price. I really like him. Other guys I like are Jordan Clarkson and Larry Nance, very productive players, very competitive, high-energy guys. They come off the bench, and they always do a good job. They're both going to see around 20-22 minutes, so I like them. I'm not really too high on Colin Sexton and Kevin Love. If he's playing without any restrictions or anything, and he's going to get around 20 minutes, I like him. Kevin Love just goes off in the beginning of the games, and then he doesn't do anything anyways, so this is the perfect setting for him preseason. And then Tristan Thompson could get you a double-double very easily. He saw 25 minutes in the overseas game, and I expect that to continue against a Detroit team with a lot of size. They're going to need him. And then someone else that they've been raving about is Kevin Porter Jr. This guy is the real Porter Jr. He's not like Michael Porter Jr. This guy is the real Porter Jr. So Kevin Porter Jr. was the 30th pick in this year's draft. And he's been doing really well. Everybody's really, really high on him in Cleveland. Their fans base, so the beat writers love him. And they're just very excited about this guy. Look for him to get a little bit of extended run here in this preseason game. So that's about it for the Cavaliers side. I like C.D. Osman, Jordan Clarkson, Larry Nance, and Tristan Thompson. And Kevin Love if he's not restricted and limited. On the Pistons side, the starters saw a little bit of extra minutes, and the bench did as well. They basically played the first team and the second team. And then at the very end of the game, or in the first half and second half, they gave the garbage time ups to the randoms. But Andre Drummond, Blake Griffin are both in play for me here. They can both go off in their 25-27 minutes they will see. I like the price here. I like the matchup against Cleveland. Young team. Will be playing with a very high pace. So lots of opportunities to score, lots of rebounds to grab, lots of turnovers, steals, blocks, all that. So I like Drummond and Griffin here. I'm not too keen on Derrick Rose or Monte Morris. I know Derrick Rose played 24 minutes last game, but he just has an injury history, and on top of that, it's preseason. I don't know how much you want to really play Rose. I would hope they go and give some of the younger players some opportunity here to perform. Someone else that I'm going to be playing in GPPs again is Christian Wood. He let a lot of people down, but it wasn't his fault. Dwayne Casey's just a dumbass, and played him 9 minutes when this guy's just been killing it every single where he goes. He killed it in the G League. He killed it on the New Orleans Pelicans whenever he was given a chance, and he's been killing it for the Pistons. So I don't know what he has to do to earn some minutes here, but they were playing Mykhailiuk and Don McCurr. So, like, what the hell? Play this kid, man. Christian was the real deal. This guy does everything. He's ranked second on PER, so he's very efficient. He's someone they could really use on the roster, to be honest. Blake Griffin's going to get injured more often than none. Drummond gets in foul trouble more often than none. So this guy does a little bit of everything. He could be explosive. Someone they should definitely have on their roster. I think he should get more run. I'm gonna be following Twitter a lot, hoping to get some news about this. Follow their beat writers. So you guys can follow my Twitter for that. I'll post that down below. But yeah, I'm hoping Christian Wood does well, and I'm hoping his ownership is not going to be high because he let everybody down last time. And to be honest, this is a pretty big slate, so there's a lot of options here. But if we find out that the Pistons starters are not going to see as much minutes as they did the last game, then Christian Wood is someone I would definitely consider. Aside from that, I'm not too high on anybody here. So let's just move along to this next game. Chicago is pretty straightforward. Chicago, basically, I'd go with Zach LaVine and Lauri Markkanen. Those guys are going to see the most amount of minutes. They're the guys, they're scoring guys. They're the first and second option. They usually perform consistently well, so those are two guys I like. And aside from that, I would go with the starting point guard, whoever it is, Satoransky or Chris Dunn. I'd like them. And then Otto Porter. Otto Porter is someone that gets hot and cold. He got hot last game. This is a good matchup for him because Indiana Pacers have a lot of size, and it's a place where Otto Porter can definitely be utilized more. But at this price, I'm not too hot on him. Kobe White, I'm not too hot on either. He's just, there's a lot of talk. I'd rather not at this price anyways. I wouldn't. Daniel Gafford, if Wendell Carter Jr. is not playing, I like. But if Wendell Carter Jr. is playing and he's going to see around 15 to 20 minutes, then I'd definitely go with Wendell Carter Jr. He's the Chicago Bulls' hidden gem. They got lucky they drafted this guy, and he's someone that should be a very good player in the league for years to come. On the Pacers side, it's very tricky. They gave minutes to almost everybody in the first game overseas. They mainly played their first team and their bench. But then in the second game, they gave the first team saw like 17 minutes, and then all those other random guys saw like 20, 22 minutes. So it's very tricky here who to go with. If I had to pick someone, I would go with Malcolm Brogdon, who does a little bit of everything and who's someone that definitely will be a first team player and will be seeing a lot of run here. Aside from him, Domantas Sabonis or Miles Turner would be in play. Both of these guys are now seeing the floor together, so I kind of like playing either or here. But aside from that, Jakar Sampson is someone that went off for Chicago last year. He was on the Bulls. He played 4 games for them, and he did really well towards the end of the year. They let him go. He played 27 minutes in the first game with the first team and the second team. The game where they gave minutes to their star players more. So if they're going with that now that it's closer to preseason and the Holiday brothers won't see all that many minutes, and Sumner and all that, and Jakar Sampson's going to see the 25, 22 minutes, then he's someone I would definitely consider in GPP plays. He could go off very easily, especially considering it's against the Bulls, and he's a very highly motivated individual. I could imagine he just wants to go and just destroy the Bulls. So he's someone I would highly consider if he's going to see minutes. But yeah, Indiana Pacers is just a mess in my opinion. They have too many guys, and there's too many guys that can perform. So I don't know. On the Boston side, I like Kemba Walker. Brad Stevens routinely plays everyone around 20 minutes, but one player seems to always get around 24 to 25 minutes. I think that'll be Kemba. Kemba is just a guy that likes to go out there and get in a groove. Throughout the whole time he was with Charlotte, he always saw the most minutes, 27, 29 minutes in preseason even. So he just likes to go out there and ball, and I could see him trying wiggling his way to more minutes here. Aside from that, someone that the Celtics are very high on is, where is he? What the hell? Javonte Green. Wow. So this guy, they've been very, very high on, and he's someone that could see a little bit of extended run here. He saw a couple of minutes in the previous games, so look for that to continue here. He's someone I'd like, but Kemba Walker, Jason Tatum are my two favorite plays here. Aside from that, I'm not really too hot on anybody. I don't really like this game. It'll be a slow, grindy game, and I'm not a fan of slow, grindy games, especially in preseason. On the Magic side, Vucevic always in play. Aaron Gordon, I don't like at this price, and I don't even think he plays. And even if he plays, I don't think he performs. So I just don't like Aaron Gordon today. I like Jonathan Isaac. He's been seeing a lot of minutes. I like Terrence Ross. He's been seeing a lot of minutes as well, and he's just a guy that comes out there and shoots his heart out. So his price is a little high though. So actually, I don't really like Terrence Ross at this price. 6,300. Hell no. There's other guys I'd go to. Bamba had one game good, one game bad, so I don't really like him. I really like Michael Carter-Williams. He sees a lot of minutes. He's probably going to start as the point guard here. Or not start, but he's going to see the same amount of minutes as Augustine. And who knows? He's probably going to actually start anyways as a shooting guard. Let's start with two guards. So I like Michael Carter-Williams. He's someone that can go off, and he's someone I'd consider. If Aaron Gordon is not playing, then I'd imagine Kem Birch is a little bit more involved, or I wonder if he's playing. So either or, I wouldn't mind going to. But Mike Carter-Williams would definitely be one of my favorite plays at this price. He's very, very cheap. 4,100 is going to see around 23, 24 minutes. So definitely someone I'd consider. And Al-Farouq Aminu is probably the guy that's going to step in for Aaron Gordon if he's not playing. So Al-Farouq Aminu is someone that could go off and then not go off and do absolutely nothing. I tend not to play Al-Farouq a lot because he's just very shady, man. He's unpredictable. Some days he's like unstoppable, and some days he's invisible. So I don't know. I would probably go with Mike Carter-Williams, to be honest, at this price, and just pay up at the small forward, power forward spot. But yeah, that's it for the Orlando guys. I like Jonathan Isaac, Terrence Ross, Michael Carter-Williams, and Vucevic is always in play. This Phillies team is probably my favorite team to pick players from because their coach gives them a lot of minutes. Ben Simmons is probably one of my favorite plays on this slate tonight, followed by Tobias Harris. I like Tobias Harris a lot because of the price and knowing that the coach is going to give them around 27, 28 minutes. These guys play a lot of minutes. Josh Richardson too, he's going to see a lot of minutes, and they're up against a Charlotte team that's a really young team. They're going to play at a very high pace, very athletic, but great spot for these guys to show off. And B's not playing, so Al Horford's also going to be in play. He's also going to see a good amount of minutes. Mike Scott and Yona Bolden are probably going to be the guys that are going to have to fill in, but Kyle O'Quinn is someone that's a point per minute monster, but recently he hasn't been doing all that well. When he gets minutes, he does well. Like, he's a point per minute guy, if not more. Like 7 minutes, 15, 8 minutes, 11, 13 minutes, 20. You know, there's no game here where he didn't exceed except this one where he played 2 minutes against a Boston team. But Kyle O'Quinn is a point per minute monster, and I don't know if he's going to see minutes. I usually like him. If he's going to see 15 to 20 minutes, 100% playing Kyle O'Quinn in all my lineups. Like, if I find out he's playing 15 to 20 minutes, boom. Like, there's no question about it. But there's a lot of good plays here at the star position. Their top players are their best players. Ben Simmons, Tobias Harris, Josh Richardson, followed by Al Horford. These four guys would probably see 25 to 30 minutes for sure. Like, they play a lot of minutes, man. So the coach just likes to stick them in there and get them ready for the season. So definitely I love the Phillies players. On the Hornets side, Rozier, PJ Washington, Bridges, all in play for me. And Devontae Graham's also in play for me. These guys have just been performing well so far in the season, and they're seeing the most minutes consistently, and I expect that to continue. But that's it. I'm not going to spend too much time on the Hornets side. The Wizards, The Wizards usually play everybody 25 minutes too. My favorite player on the Wizards, without a shadow of a doubt, would be Thomas Bryant. This guy is a baller. This guy is a beast. He dropped 42 the last preseason game. I expect him to get around 35 to 40 again. He just does everything. He's gonna see around 25 minutes. Aside from him, I like Rui Hachimura. He had a decent showing the first game, and I expect him to feel more comfortable out there. And then aside from that, Mo Wagner, someone I'd consider for sure. And if Bradley Beal's playing, I expect him to get more minutes based on last year's preseasons. The starters seem to get minutes here too. New York is another team I really like to play. The Stars are going to see a lot of minutes. They're just going to run them to the ground. I think there was a glitch on the NBA website. It said RJ Barrett played 39 minutes the first preseason game. I don't know if that's correct. I think he played 29 minutes, but if he played 39 minutes, and bro, lock him in. I'll play anybody playing 39 minutes at that price. Come on. And against the Washington, they already played they played each other already this preseason, so it's a rematch now. Julius Randle I like. Mitchell Robinson didn't have all that great of a game. Thomas Bryant kind of overshadowed him, but Mitchell Robinson's also a good player, and he was playing with Julius Randle, who kind of does what he does, sort of. So maybe he was kind of, asserting himself in his positions. But look for Mitchell Robinson to bounce back here. His price is a little bit high, so it's a kind of but good spot here. RJ Barrett, definitely in play for me, 100%. But yeah, that pretty much be it. I don't want to really go dumpster diving here in preseason. Utah Jazz is another team that hasn't played against an NBA opponent yet. Oh, they did. But they didn't have so they had played one NBA game so far against an NBA opponent. The other was overseas. Someone that stood out for the Utah Jazz throughout their whole preseason is Tony Bradley. This guy has just been killing it. Although Rudy Gobert is back today, I still expect Tony Bradley to see a lot of minutes and perform. He's definitely their backup center for the future, and someone that's been performing really well. Aside from Tony Bradley, I like Donovan Mitchell today. Look for him to just pop off against the New Orleans Zion team. He's a very competitive guy. This is a perfect matchup. New Orleans also likes to play a lot of their starters a lot of minutes. Alvin Gentry does. So this is a great spot for Donovan. I like to call him Donovan to really go off. Mike Conley had a bad first game. I think he was just trying to, get everybody involved. And they did fly from overseas, so they could have been a little jet lag. Royce O'Neal's another point per minute monster. When he plays, he gets minutes, he performs really well. I don't know how much minute he gets here, but he's someone I'd consider. I think he gets around 19 minutes. In the preseason, he's been getting around 19. One preseason game, he did really well. The other, not so well. Tony Bradley was the guy that's just been consistent. But now that Rudy Gobert's back, although Rudy Gobert did play some of those overseas games, so Tony Bradley still did well. So I like, I don't know how much I like Rudy Gobert. His price is really high. He could definitely hit value, but I'd rather get Zion or somebody than Rudy Gobert, who's probably not going to see that many minutes because they're probably going to play Tony Bradley and really try and get him, more acclimated to their team and their offense. So Tony Bradley is one of my favorite plays. Donovan Mitchell, and then Royce O'Neal maybe as a cheap play. I like the cheap plays here, but Donovan Mitchell is the one guy I'd probably go with. Not too high on the other Ingle and Conley and the Bogdanovich. On the New Orleans side, so New Orleans last year in the first 3 preseason games, they played their starters reduced minutes, and then towards the end they really pumped up the starters minutes. Look for Lonzo Ball's minutes to get to 24 here today, in my opinion, and for him to perform well. He really wasn't taking shots, so I wouldn't mind going to Lonzo here. A cheap play, both these guys are good. Alexander Walker and Frank Jackson are both good plays here. 4,100, 4,300. But that's about it. I don't really like Brandon Ingram. I don't really like any of these small forwards. Kendrick Williams seeing reduced minutes because there's just a lot of competition and everybody's fighting for minutes here. Zion's going to see around 27 minutes again, so definitely in play for me. He killed it last game. Just dominating game by him. Derek Favors is a sneaky player at 4,700. He should see a lot of minutes today, so he should be in consideration. Probably around 25 plus minutes as well. So he's someone I'd consider. He's not going to be that high owned, and it's one of the later games. His ownership should naturally be lowered. He's playing against his former team in the Utah Jazz, so he could be a little pumped up here to really stick it to them. So revenge game narrative. So Derek Favors is someone I like, but that's it. And moving along to the last game, Antetokounmpo, enough said. Giannis, not the other one. Giannis Antetokounmpo, enough said. If he plays, I love him. He's just the guy that goes off any amount of minutes. Aside from that, Middleton at this price is viable. I'd consider him. His ownership would be pretty low. So he's someone I like. Excuse me. Bledsoe's out now. Sterling Brown's out too. George Hill is very old. Frank Mason III is someone I really like. He's going to be the guard here. He performed really well in one of their previous games. Saw 27 minutes. Expect him to really do something similar. Dragon Bender's another point per minute guy. When he gets minutes, he goes off, and he saw 15 minutes the previous game. Look for that to slightly increase, and look for him to be a sneaky GPP play. 4,400 is a little steep, but hey, the cheapest is 4,000, so it's not all that bad. And DiVincenzo is another guy that could be in line for more minutes with Bledsoe out, and especially they might want to get DiVincenzo and Frank Mason more acclimated to their offense because Bledsoe is going to miss 2 to 3 weeks. So with that said, my favorite plays on the Milwaukee Bucks would be Giannis Antetokounmpo, Frank Mason III, DiVincenzo, and then Dragon Bender. On the Dallas side, Luka Doncic, 28 minutes last game. I expect something similar. He's in play 100%. Kristaps Porzingis minutes are probably going to increase from last game. He's in play for me 100%. Justin Jackson saw a lot of minutes, but when you're playing with Kristaps Porzingis and Luka Doncic, and Tim Hardaway Jr. and DeLon Wright in that lineup, you're probably not going to see all that many shots. And when you do see shots, you better make them, because if you don't, then you're going to have bad games. So he had a bad game last game. I expect that to continue. Maxi Kleber is a sneaky play for me. I love him. He's just someone that does really well. I'd consider him here. And Jalen Brunson's the other guy I'd consider here. He's been doing really well in preseason. And someone that's really fighting and making a claim or staking a claim for more minutes in the main team rotation when the season starts. So Luka Doncic, KP are two plays I really like. Tim Hardaway Jr. could go off again. I like him too, and Max Kleber is who I like. So guys, that's it for my NBA take. Again, I'll just tell you my favorite play for point guards would be Ben Simmons or Luka Doncic, without a doubt. Some cheap plays for point guards. If Chris Dunn or Satoransky, depending on who starts, that would be one. Frank Mason or Dante DiVincenzo, depending on who starts. And Michael Carter-Williams, those would be my cheap point guard picks. For shooting guards, same. Those guys could also fall in the shooting guards positions. Luka Doncic, RJ Barrett, Jordan Clarkson. I'd like those guys. Tim Hardaway is so cheap. Don't know how many minutes he gets though, so I'm not too high on that. Nickeil Alexander, Frank Mason would be the cheap guys here as well. I should have mentioned him in the point guard spot. Anybody else? DiVincenzo already said. Yeah. In the forward spot, Giannis, Ben Simmons, I love. Tobias Harris, I love. Jonathan Isaac, and not so much at this price. C.D. Osman, I love. Who else is there? Is there anybody else? Some cheap plays that I would go with would be Mike Scott, Royce O'Neal. Hopefully Kenrich Williams gets minutes. Free my man Kenrich Williams. Jakari Sampson if he gets minutes. Revenge game. Kevin Porter Jr. in a GPP sneaky play. He's getting a lot of hype. But yeah, that's it. That's not it, but there could be more. But I don't want to spend too much time. Power forward. First three. Antetokounmpo, Zion, Kristaps Porzingis, 100% in play for me. Tobias Harris in play. Balake in play. Thomas Bryant. I really like Thomas Bryant. He's in play. Brandon Ingram maybe. I like him at this price, sure. CD Osman, sure. PJ Washington's too expensive, so probably not. Hachimura, I'd rather go with Derek Favors than Hachimura. Christian Wood I'm really high on, but with all these other options here, man, he'd be a sneaky play. I don't really think many people would be on him with all this around him. Similar price range. And most of these guys, will see minutes. Christian Wood, we don't know. Maxi Keebler, Mo Wagner. So there's a lot of cheap options down here too. But yeah, those are my favorite guys. And then center position, Zion, Drummond, Kevin, Kristaps. I keep calling him Kevin, like Kevin Porzingis. Change your name to Kevin so I can get it right. Julius Randle, I like. Thomas Bryant, I like. Mitchell Robinson, bounce back spot, I like. Who else is there? Christian Wood. Tony Bradley, I love, man. His price is $4,500 now, but I still love him. He's gonna get minutes for sure, and he's gonna perform for sure. So I love him. If Ken Birch is starting for our boy, I like him. Kylo Quinn, if he's gonna get minutes, increased minutes around 15 minutes, I like Kylo Quinn. He's a 2 ppm monster, 2 points per minute. But yeah, that's it, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Sorry for the really long video. Sorry for the late video. Hopefully it finds you well. Please like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what I could do better. And yeah, I appreciate it if you guys would subscribe and help me grow. Take care. Bye bye.